The only reason I ask is because we have a flooding problem off of Camellia, and Camellia is one of the main streets running through this. And I'm looking at this and saying, well, if we could work on this area, maybe we could also accomplish relieving some of the drainage problems in that area of cypress and spruce and Camellia.
Yeah, well, there is a plan in place, and the line in Camellia here is, well, the backbone infrastructure plan that the engineer has developed has the line in Camellia has been oversized, and the line in Lincoln that heads down to Pond A has also been oversized so that we can make such a connection not only to the South Almond Street area, but also farther up Lincoln to the north, if I can use Dave's pointer. Is it the middle one?
No, not
No, it
on
doesn't
that.
work.
Gray one.
Here's the
The
other one,
big
the
gray
silver
one.
The big gray one.
Yeah.
In the middle, I
Take
think.
it away.
The other one's the laser.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so.
I think we'll buy a
There we
laser
go.
pointer and just keep it up there.
We're talking about making a connection here and some improvements to the subdivision that's over here that has an existing flooding problem. Also a connection up here that will help relieve some of the pressurization of the system up in this area too. So basically this line in Lincoln here is being oversized, and this line in Camellia as well.
So, in other words, what you're saying is our hands are pretty much tied as far, this is a great project to have come in here to take care of that, but because of the DA agreements and everything else, we can't do any of this work, and we're just approving this project as a tentative map and saying, yeah, when everything else gets done, let's do it.
That's correct.
Thank you.
And we did this with a previous
Yes, I did.
issue, Citation Homes,
Right.
correct?
Yeah,
So this
and-
is no different than what we did for Citation Homes.
As I mentioned earlier, I mean, the line that's in Lincoln is an extremely large line. It's like a 60-inch diameter line. That's 5 feet. The pipe is this big in diameter. And that has a huge price tag to it, and also crossing under the railroad. So if it was a smaller line serving a smaller area, it might economically be more feasible for one developer with whatever it is, 80 lots, to be able to carry that burden for a while, waiting for other people. But the size of this infrastructure necessary for the southwest area, it really needs more of these property owners to be developing so that the costs are spread more evenly.
Any other questions?
I have one for Dave. So it appears to me, maybe this is more of a statement than a question, and you can affirm it or deny it. The owner of the property now who's trying to develop this is just trying to get the lot sizes that are necessary for this to be financially feasible for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, Mr. Sanders is here. I think his intent is that he believes with a tentative map approved,
Right.
that it may be
It's
more
the first
saleable.
step.
That it may be more saleable. He isn't going to develop it, but he's going to try to market it to a production
Right.
builder. And since the map would be good for 3 years, he's also hoping that the economy is turned
Gets
around
better,
and this is moved forward.
So this is just the first step in that
This is,
process.
I don't expect him to record the map, because then he would tie the hands of a potential buyer into this lot configuration, and they may want to adjust it. But I do think it'll give him a little bit more of an edge when he's marketing it. That he
So
can
that's what
say-
you were saying, is that they may want to come back and say, no, we don't agree with
Well, there
that,
may
we want to
be
do
some
something
additional-
different.
They may. The individual builder may have a different outlook on how to comply with the city's directive, that they have a variety of housing types.
All right.
And they may not want to do the duet idea.
Okay.
They have to do something that's similar to that.
But that R1 PD gives them the flexibility to work
To
around
work with
in
the
there.
89 lots. They're not allowed to go over that number, but they can play with the number as to how those lots get configured.
Okay.
And I forgot to add, and Mr. Dean sort of alluded to it, but earlier today I received, or yesterday actually, I received some suggested wording amendments to the conditions of approval, which I wasn't able to get to the council. I don't believe they're substantive in nature. Mr. Sanders has had a chance to review them. They're more clarification to a series of conditions, so it's clear to a future reader as to what the intent, as to when certain conditions have to be complied with. And so I just wanted to note that for the record, that assuming Mr. Sanders says what I think he'll say, which he's in agreement with the changes, we would incorporate those into the final conditions. And I apologize that I couldn't get them to you sooner. didn't work out that way.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sanders, you wish to come forward?
Mr. Mayor and City Council, all I'm trying to do is get ready for the big push that our new president is going to get going. So I just want to be ready when it happens. Hopefully someone with some money will come along and want to buy it. Real money. So I would appreciate it if you guys would approve this thing.
No, I think there's a lot of us up here that, and out there in the audience that would share that optimism as well.
We've been at this since 1999. Almost 10 years.
10 years.
So, thank you.
Any questions of Mr. Sanders?
No, but I have some comments I'd like to make. I like I actually do have a question for you. I like the lot size variety is what I was gonna initially say. I'm very pleased with whoever designed this, the way they did it. It's gonna offer a lot more variety in housing. Now, my question off of that is, are you planning, I know you're not gonna develop this, are you planning on selling this to a tract home developer or to somebody that will develop more custom style lots?
Well, I can't answer that,
Okay.
Mike, because
Fair enough.
I
I'm
don't
just
know
wondering
who's
whether
gonna-
you,
who's gonna
Money
buy it.
talks, huh?
right, whether you have
I
any,
wish I
so you
could.
gotta take whatever comes along, in other words. That
Well,
meets
Well,
your,
best offer.
The best offer.
right, that's what I mean.
And then
Okay, that's fair
you
enough.
people will decide what they put in there, not me. That's why we elected you.
Well, actually, the planning commission's the one that does design review, not us.
But they're appointed by us.
Any other questions of Mr. Sanders?
No.
Thank you, sir. I'll now open the public hearing. Any members of the audience wishing to speak on the matters relating to Orchard Estates Sanders tentative map located east of Pittsco Road, south of Orchard Estates Garcia property, and the Lincoln Park subdivision? I'll start on this side again. Anybody over here wishing to speak on this issue? Seeing none, I'll move over to this side of the audience. Anybody on this side of the audience wishing to speak? Yes, Mr. Draska.
Mayor, council, staff, Drew Graska, 540 Cypress. I recommend you go along with this and help the man sell his property. That way we could get the relief we need for the neighborhoods and the adjoining neighborhoods. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. It's back up to council. Council, it's in our hands. Any other discussion regarding this issue? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to, are you doing both of them at once?
Can-
Yeah. So would it just be a move to approve the recommended, recommendation for the both motions? I don't know if I should say them both or.
To include the,
To waive reading, read by title only,
Okay.
introduce the ordinance to rezone, and then adopt resolution conditionally approving the Orchard Estate Sanders tentative map to subdivide.
and to include the additional
The
clarifications.
additional
Yeah.
issues that.
We didn't
were
ask
raised by council.
Sandy if he agreed with that, but I assume he does.
Is that your motion, Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Kaler,
She's recused.
Aye.
Pappas,
Aye.
Fuller,
Aye.
Aye. Very good.